News 4 investigates, uncovering scams and ripoffs, questioning government waste, watching out for you. Now, News 4's Chris Nagus.
You enter the main terminal at Lambert, there's all kinds of familiar airlines that you know, Delta, United, American. But there's also some lesser-known carriers flying to places few people go, and it's costing you a lot of money, $260 million a year, leading critics to ask, is this why we're broke?
Your attention, please, for those of you traveling out on Air Choice 1.
It happens 3 times a day at the Decatur, Illinois airport.
Flight number 2513.
Small 9-passenger planes load up,
With service to St. Louis.
then take off for Lambert Airport.
Please proceed through gate number 1.
On a late January afternoon, 4 TSA agents are ready to screen the passengers.
In preparation for passenger boarding.
Or in this case, the passenger. Only one person is getting on the plane.
Thank you.
Decatur is one of the 116 American towns served by what's known as the Essential Air Service Program. The first thing we noticed, the cost of passengers is super cheap. You can buy a one-way ticket from Decatur to St. Louis on Air Choice 1 2 hours before the flight for $35.
The federal government basically makes their fares cheaper.
Douglas Holtz-Eakin represents the American Action Forum, a conservative nonprofit based in D.C. Data provided by the U.S. Department of Transportation backs him up. If the flights aren't full, you pick up the tab.
What you got is a program which is subsidizing empty aircraft to take off and land.
From Decatur, the small planes fly to Lambert and Chicago O'Hare. The annual subsidy for the routes, $2.6 million. On some days, there's actually more than one passenger. On this flight from St. Louis to Decatur, there were 6, including our producer. But 3 of the passengers never got off.
Everybody going to Chicago with us?
They stayed on the plane, using Decatur as a cheap layover to get to O'Hare. Lawmakers with EAS cities in their districts generally support the program. What would happen to a town like Decatur if this program was scrapped?
It would be unfortunate.
Congressman Rodney Davis says the program is an economic engine for Decatur and other Illinois towns like Marion and Quincy, which cost taxpayers more than $4 million a year to operate. Davis says even if you don't fly the routes, which most people don't, it's still a benefit to Lambert Airport.
You pull those flights out, that's another ramp and another gate that's not being utilized.
It's actually 2 gates. Between Air Choice 1 and Cape Air, planes headed to 9 different EAS cities leave one after another every day to costly little destinations like Cape Girardeau, Fort Leonard Wood, Kirksville, Southeast Iowa, and Jonesboro, Arkansas. On this December flight to Jonesboro, there were 3 passengers, including our producer.
Welcome aboard.
That route cost taxpayers just under $2 million a year, and with no shortage of small towns requesting unprofitable air service, expect the cost to grow. Coming soon to the big departure board, 2 places you'll probably never go, Mason City and Fort Dodge, Iowa. You might not fly there, but you will pick up the $6 million tab. And here's something we didn't expect. Just as the TSA is increasing security across the country, we made this startling discovery during this investigation.
I have to go through security again? Or?
No, we don't have TSA.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds good. Wait, what? No security? None? So we spend $250 million a year to subsidize unprofitable airline routes, but we don't spend any money securing the people on the planes? The bizarre reason why, Tuesday at 10.